And we are on the air. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the show that not only gets your blood pressure up, but makes you clean out your insides as well. This is the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters is right here. I am Mightily, a.k.a. Hamilton Mike, along with my partner, Brian, the Ranger Tart. Brian, still smells like football.
Oh, we're getting close. We're getting real close.
We're getting close, and we're in still the pursuit for 32 previews of 32 NFL teams. And today, we're going to take a nice stroll down to the Washington area to talk to our affiliate. He's a Florida guy, and he knows the Redskins inside and out, but let's talk to him now, see how much he knows. We're going to talk to Doug Anderson. Doug, welcome aboard.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You know what? It's just our pleasure. It's just, we love this place. It's just, you can't get enough of it. Anyway, Brian, stab me. Let's go. Washington Redskins.
Washington Redskins. First place in the Metro. Lost to... Oh, wait, that's the Capitals. I'm sorry. I have the wrong Washington team. Oh, sorry.
A lot more payroll, too.
Sorry about that one.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Washington Redskins. 8-7-1. That pesky tie.
Yep.
That pesky tie.
There's that tie. I'll third again.
Third place in the NFC East. They did not make the playoffs last year, but offensively through the air, they were absolutely fantastic. Second overall passing offense in the league. 21st on the ground, but it didn't matter. They were the third best offense in the league last year. Kirk Cousins, phenomenal. Just a touch under 5,000 yards. 25 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Leading rusher was Rob Kelly, 704 yards and 6 touchdowns. They had 2 receivers over 1,000 yards last year, Pierre, Garcon, and Desean Jackson. They had 7 touchdowns combined, but they're both gone. So we're going to see how that ends up. They ended up bringing in Terrell Pryor from Cleveland. Josh Doctson still there, had a really uneventful rookie season, and of course Jamison Crowder. Defensively, not so good. 25th against the pass, 24th against the run. They allowed the 19th most points in the league. They tried to address that defense in the first round. They took a guy who fell, according to our mock, fell pretty handily. Yeah. Jonathan Allen, defensive tackle from Alabama, 17th overall. Doug, I want to start with Cousins. So, you know, the worst kept secret in America in the NFL is that Kirk Cousins' contract's up at the end of the year, and they don't know what they're going to do with him. You hear rumors of he's going to go to San Francisco. We've had a couple of guys on who think he's going to go to, like, Cleveland. I don't know. What are your thoughts here? Is this going to end poorly for the Redskins, or is this going to be like a long-term thing?
I think they're signing that long-term. Snyder's got billions of dollars. If he lets them go, they might actually burn Snyder's house to the ground with him in it.
Yeah, I agree with that. You talk about Washington, you know, Kirk Cousins, very underrated quarterback. I think you hear him talking about he's down in mid-pack, wherever like that. I think that Cousins is a good quarterback, and to your point, Doug, I think if they let him go, it'd be a travesty. You know, the wide receiver position, they did lose 2 receivers that helped this team. They did pick up Terrell Pryor, but in the same sense, you got a young wide receiver core here, even with Brian Quick there coming over from the Rams. Maybe change scenery does him good, and Jamison Crowder is okay. Do the Redskins do enough in the offseason in the way of address the wide receiver position to really keep this team on track?
I always thought T-Jax was way overrated. He was always hurt. He's going to pull a hamstring and miss 5 games in Tampa. So don't get too attached to him down here.
Don't tell me that, Doug.
All right. But Pierre, our son, they replaced him. I got full confidence in the wideouts. I think that's very easy to go find a guy in the street to know how to run a post pattern. Cousins will hit him. It won't matter.
Yeah, you talk about that too with the wide receiver core. Jordan Reed, stud tight end there, but you know, issues with the health and the concussions. You know, I think he might even start the year on the PUP list. Do you feel confident with him moving forward, or is this going to be something that it's going to plague him the entire year?
No, Jordan Reed, I don't think you can expect to play 16 games. I don't think it's going to be close. I think they might even want to hold him out some so that he's ready for the playoff push when the Redskins make the playoffs.
As far as from a fantasy football perspective here, Doug, you know, the Redskins are a very interesting offense. You know, I agree with you both. Kirk Cousins is extremely underrated. The numbers don't lie. But it is going to be a big change for them offensively because, again, they got different pass catchers. You know, again, Terrell Pryor had a great year in Cleveland last year, but he's a converted quarterback, call it what it is. Josh Doctson was a very high pick for the Redskins 2 years ago. Didn't really play last season. And, of course, Crowder emerged a little bit last year. I guess from your take, for those fans who are watching this team from a fantasy perspective, who's the guy that you're targeting the most as far as that Redskins passing game goes? Is it Pryor? Is it Jordan Reed? What are your thoughts?
I think Crowder is going to be the surprise. I see him possibly making a Pro Bowl.
Wow.
I see him being a top 10 wideout this year. I think he's going to get thrown the ball often. So, if I was defenses, if you're going to see one Crowder, you're going to get burned. Bad.
We're talking to Doug Anderson, Washington Redskins affiliate for the Sports Box. Doug, you talked about the defense for this Washington team, and Brian stressed before that they didn't have a good year and they struggled a little bit. It's tough to think that, considering they bring over Josh Norman from Carolina. They have Ryan Kerrigan there. They have Will Compton. What's going wrong with this defense? Is it a scheme thing, or is it just not panning out for them right now?
I don't think it's a scheme thing. I think it's that they're just not getting to the quarterback enough other than Kerrigan. Trent Murphy was supposed to be the outside linebacker to go against opposite Kerrigan this year. Already tore ACL, so he's done for the year.
Yep. Which
I'm actually happy about, because the guy you haven't mentioned is Ryan Anderson, second-round pick out of Alabama. He's a beast. Yeah. And they're going to put him opposite Kerrigan, and it's going to be lights out, rush the passer. They're going to get pressure. They have enough coverage now that it's not going to matter.
And that was my next point, that the talk of the preseason right now is Jonathan Allen and Ryan Anderson. Do you pencil them in as starters for week 1, or is that something that they're going to be mixed into during the course of the year?
I don't know if you saw the Baltimore game. Ryan Anderson had a play in the first quarter where 2 blockers went to take him. He dove at both of them, knocked them both out. Other linebackers came in, tackled the running back, no gain. I see that happening a lot this year. I'd say starter day 1.
Okay.
Defensively, the one thing that was kind of surprising for me looking at their numbers from last year was just how bad they were against the pass. You go out and give a guy like Josh Norman just a ton of money,
Yep.
and it doesn't seem to help their pass defense at all. And that's a bit of, I think, a concern for the Redskins in a division where you have, teams that can throw. I mean, they have big-type receivers in the division. Obviously with Des Bryant, the Eagles brought in Alshon Jeffrey. Of course, the Giants have Odell Beckham, among others. From what you've seen from Josh Norman, are they going to live to regret this, or are they going to be okay?
I think it's going to end up being bad a couple of years from now. But I think the problem wasn't the corners last year. The problem was the safeties. They end up having to play a 35, 36-year-old D'Angelo Hall at safety. Mm-hmm. That's not helping until he gets hurt. Sal Cravens is the answer at safety. He's had injury problems, but if they can get him healthy and stay healthy, they're going to be fine in the secondary.
So, you look at the schedule for the Washington Redskins, and I always try to look at what's called Murderer's Row, a spot in the games where, Washington could struggle a little bit. They're going to have a rough stretch of road. I see it come at the end of the year, but that last preseason game there, that's going to be a rough game at Tampa Bay. That's going to be a rough game. But anyway, let's talk about the regular season. You talk about the last stretch of games. I'm looking at week 13 at Dallas. I'm looking at almost a home stretch for this team. At week 13 they're at Dallas. Then at week 14, you might not say the Chargers are a big thing, but the travel out there, you're 2 back-to-back weeks, now you're going out west. That could wear on them a little bit. They're home for Arizona, which may be contending for a playoff spot. And then you have Denver at home. And then you finish up the year with the Giants in New York. I think that stretch of game, those 5 at the end, is going to be real critical for this team to get in the playoffs. Do you agree?
I do. But the Chargers, they have to fly out west, but they have 10 days between the Dallas game and the Charger game.
Yeah.
If it was only a week, it would be worse.
Yeah.
10 days, I don't see a problem with it. And I think they're going to win 3, if not 4 of those last 5 games, including the win at Dallas.
Yeah, they're going to need to get into the playoffs that year. Really a West Coast swing for them this year, too. Heading to the Rams, heading to the Chargers, heading to Seattle. A lot of West Coast teams.
We've noticed this with a lot of our NFC East previews is, having to play the AFC West kind of sucks.
Yeah.
They have a bit of it. I think that they have a chance to get right early. They host an Eagles team. Who knows what you're going to see from them out of here, but it's a team that the Redskins normally play
at home. I think that's a definite win.
Right.
Yeah.
They go out to play the Rams. I mean, if you don't win that game, you might as well just pack it up. So before they really hit the stride of their schedule in their first 5 games, they really got to be 3-2, 4-1 to really kind of get this thing going, because like you said, it does get harder as the year goes on. But where I think what's going to hurt the Redskins here, especially down the stretch, is they really haven't gotten a running game going for a while now.
Yeah.
I don't know if Robert Kelly can be the guy that is the workhorse or anything like that, but they ask a lot of Cousins, and it's kind of surprising that they don't give this guy this money, because I got to tell you, We talk about how important quarterbacks are to teams. We talk about Brady and Rodgers. Do the Redskins win 2 games without Kirk Cousins on the team?
He fits this system.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks go as their team goes, and he goes as the Redskins go. They
better lock this boy up. If not, it's going to be the dark times again in Washington.
Yeah.
Doug, don't you agree?
I do. I think at the end of the year when they re-sign Cousins, he'll be the highest paid player in the league.
I would agree with that.
I would agree with that too.
And he has all the leverage.
Yeah, and I think, Brian, you talk about those 4 games at the beginning of the year that they got to get off to a good start. You talk about the last 2 before the bye week.
Yeah.
They face an Oakland team, even though it's at home. Oakland could be the team to beat in the AFC besides the Patriots this year. And then you go to Arrowhead to play a tough Kansas City team. In Kansas City, it's always tough to play in Kansas City. So, this schedule is kind of up and down for the Redskins.
Well, they have 2 bye weeks after that. Their actual bye week and hosting San Francisco.
Yeah.
So it's not as if they really have a lot to worry about after
That's
that.
True, and they have it at home too. So
they got to get wins early, I feel. They're in a division that's probably pretty tightly packed.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Doug, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Again, they're in a division that's, for all intents and purposes, it's a pretty even division. Not saying that these teams are going to roll anybody over, but there's not a lot of difference top to bottom. From what you have seen from this team and you've seen from this schedule, what's your read on what we can expect from the Redskins this year?
I think it's obvious they can go anywhere from 7-9, 10-6. And I think they'll go 10-6. I think they'll beat the Giants the last week of the season, tie the Giants, and win on the tiebreaker. They're going to make the playoffs to win the division.
Okay. As long as they don't get any ties.
No ties. Yeah,
no ties. Ties are big.
No ties. If they had a kicker last year who could have kicked the field goal, they would have made the playoffs.
Yeah. We don't talk about kickers on the sports box because somebody's kicker, if you watch Hard Knocks, well,
And the other one's having problems. So, yeah, I'm in great shape for a kicker. So, thanks, Brian, for the sore subject.
It is what it is.
Anyway, that is all the time we have for our Washington Redskins preview. I want to thank our affiliate to the sports box, Doug Anderson, for jumping on the line and giving us a little bit of Redskins knowledge. Doug, thank you very much.
Sure.
So,
Doug, I'll send your kind thoughts to Dan Snyder. I know you love the guy.
Yeah.
Just get his address.
We're not giving it to you. Anyway, thank you very much. And remember, you can always get us on social media if you need to.
Absolutely. This is one of 32 NFL team previews. We're getting ready for you, priming you up for the 2017 NFL season. Make sure you're subscribed to the Sports Box on YouTube. And, of course, follow us on Twitter and Facebook, both at Sports Box Show. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. To the Sports Box right now. What goddamn are you waiting for? Get on that stick. Hit the button. It's very, very simple. Brian would show you, but he's got fat fingers. Anyway, so remember, at the Sports Box, that Sports Box, the only opinion that matters, Brian.
That's right here.
Oh, my God.
You should subscribe and find out more about it.
Exactly. Thanks for watching, folks. See you.
This episode of the Sports Box is brought to you by Mic'd Up Entertainment and DJ Mike Velarde. For all of your event planning needs, make sure you contact Mike at 609-864-5925 and tell him that you saw him on the Sports Box.
1, 2, 3.
Don't forget to subscribe.